everybody, it's me, Cinderella X. I'm just down here cleaning the chimneys with my cat Slippers. Yes, she is my cat. So, anyway. I know, iOS, I know. Well, let me talk about it. Give me a chance. Come on, Slippers. Slippers, she's crazy about the new iOS version of the app. She's an iPhone cat. I mean, it's hard to relate. I mean, I'm a PC person and like an Android person, and I mean, it's been hard to relate to all the Apple people and Apple cats, whatever. So anyway, Kimmy and Daniel X, I was talking to them a while ago, and they were like, well, so people have been asking, and they're like, well, where's the Apple version? Where's the iOS version of the Fringe Radio Network app? And I'm like, well, guys, I mean, come on, that's a whole different universe. I never even had a real Mac. I never even ran one in real life. I mean, I only seen him in pictures. And so it's a whole nother universe. I mean, I would have to learn the Swift programming language, and I would have to have a brand new Mac, and I would have to have a brand new iPhone, and so whatever. I mean, I've been cleaning these chimneys. I got some gold coins from the chimneys, and I was like, well, okay, whatever. I guess I'll get a new Mac. So I traded in 2 gold coins for a brand new MacBook Air, half a terabyte hard drive, 16 gigabyte unified memory, and the new Apple M3 chip, and then I got a new iPhone 15 for Slippers. Yeah, you can have it when I'm done. Anyway, so I started learning the Swift programming language and learning how to work in the Xcode integrated development environment, the IDE. And, this is a good app. It's taken me over 300 hours of coding, but, it's a good app. It's a strong app. The first version we released, version 1.4, Slippers was poking at it with her paws, it froze. I mean, it didn't like crash or anything, but the buttons froze. And I was like, oh no, Slippers, this is no good. I go, but we have a reputation for building rock solid bulletproof apps that are so strong and you can't make them choke or crash. So I told Slippers, I told you, Slippers, we needed a couple more audio observer scripts. And we needed to watch the playback state. We needed to improve the undestroy functions. I told you that. I know, but anyway. So we did all that and added all the audio observer scripts and the state recordings and everything, and so it was seeming to be very, very solid, very rock solid, very stable. But Slippers came up with this idea, which is just, it's so crazy. But anyway, she's like, okay, well, why don't we get Mortimer, the autistic jester, to test it out, to field test the app. Then we'll know. Then we'll know for sure how strong and how stable it is. I'm like, I don't know, Slippers. It doesn't seem like a very good idea, but it's your iPhone, okay. And so she dialed up an episode of Let's Get Jacked Up. Of course, she's got to listen to Jack. Whatever. I know, but anyway. So you know what Slippers did? She handed her iPhone to Mortimer, the autistic jester, and said, and you know what she said? She says, "It's your birthday, Mortimer, and nobody got you any cake." Oh, you wouldn't believe, he went into this fit. He was like, And it was pressing the buttons like, I thought Jack was going into convulsions. It was moving Jack all around that episode. Skip forward 30 seconds, skip backward 30 seconds, play, pause, play, leave the player, come back, hit the button some more. I mean, Slippers, you're lucky he didn't break your iPhone. Slippers grabbed it just before he smashed it onto the floor. But whatever, I mean, this app is really strong. But the most important thing about both of the Fringe Radio Network apps is, how do you get them? Well, that's the most important thing. I mean, how do you get the app? Well, you have to go to fringeradionetwork.com, and right there at the top of the front page, if you have an Apple phone, an iPhone, you just click the Apple badge. If you have an Android, then you just click the Google Play Store badge. And they're right next to each other, right under the logo, right on the front page. fringeradionetwork.com, right there on the front page. It's just right there. It doesn't matter if you have an Apple, then you just click the Apple badge. If you have a Android, click the Android badge and just download it. They're both good versions. I mean, they're a lot different from each other. I mean, because they're not actually like versions of one or the other. They're completely different apps, although they do the same things. I mean, you have a display of the main feed. They both have that. And they play thousands of episodes from the main feed. You click on those. It takes you to an audio player. It plays them. And they both have the live chat function where you can go when the guys are doing a live show. You can like Timmy from Let's Get Jacked Up, or Michael Basham are on Spirit Wars, or Captain Epoch. I mean, you can go there to the live chat section and listen live and chat with the audience. So I mean, wherever you are, you can like stop and listen live and chat with everybody and in the audience. And even if they're on a computer at home, like on a desktop or a laptop, they're all in the same chat. So everybody's together. So that's just so wonderful. I mean, yeah, it has the same functionality. I mean, both versions, but they're completely different from each other. I mean, Apple, that's Apple, and Android, that's Android. I mean, similar functionality, they do the same things. But, they're very, very different. And also, my fairy godmother, when I got the app done, I was about 160 hours into it. And I said, look, fairy godmother, look, I think it's good. I think we're good. I think we've got the iOS version. She goes, oh, that's very nice, dear. But does it work with Apple CarPlay? And I was like, Apple CarPlay? And she said, I wouldn't download an app that didn't have Apple CarPlay, and I wouldn't buy a car that didn't have Apple CarPlay. And I'm like, whatever. So there goes another 160 hours. I was like, wow, that's going to be really hard. I have to apply for a special Apple CarPlay entitlement from Apple, and they have to approve it and everything. Wow. And they did. And so, after about 160 more hours, it works real good in Apple CarPlay. And let me tell you something, it was not easy. It was really hard. But if you get into your car and the app is open, it has to be open. It can be reduced or minimized running in the background. But the app has to be open, like in your phone, in your pocket. But then Apple CarPlay will play. The app will appear on your car radio, and you'll have the main feed, and you'll be able to click on the episodes, and that will take you to a player, and you can listen to the Fringe Radio Network while you're driving it around in your car, on your car radio, on your new fancy Apple CarPlay car radio. I know they make them in Detroit, because I casted it on when my fairy godmother bought a new 4-wheel drive from Detroit, and so she let me test the CarPlay functionality, and she was complaining because she said I was wearing out her starter, because I had to start that 4-wheel drive so many times to test the CarPlay functionality. I'd get one thing to work, but this other thing would work. Then I get the other thing to work, but this didn't work. Finally, see, yeah, I had something really nice for CarPlay. I finally had a very nice version that plays in your car, in your car radio. I mean, it just, all you have to do is, if the app is already like open in your pocket, in your phone, then you just start your car, and then the app will appear on your car radio screen, and it has the main feed, and you just cap on one of the episodes you want to listen to, and it takes you to an audio player, and it plays it. And I have all these audio observer scripts and state managers that watch and record the state of play, so you can go on a trip, going around town, and you can stop at like the store, and once you get to the 7-minute mark, you turn off your car and you get in, and you come back out of the store, and it's right where you left off, and then you go, and then maybe you have to go see your grandma, and so it plays all the way till the 15-minute mark, and you get at your grandma's house, and you get out of your car, and you get back in your car, and there it is waiting for you at the 15-minute mark, and it just keeps playing until it's done. You can make multiple stops, and it follows everything you do. It records every little button that you press, so it always remembers where you were. And that's another thing about the network, is that we really value your privacy. And so these apps, they do not gather or store or share personal information with the network or anyone. They're totally safe apps. And how do I know they're safe? Because I wrote them. Hello. That's right, we did. Slippers helped me. I know, you're such a smart cat. But anyway, so even though they're watching everything you do, they don't know who you are. The apps are actually watching themselves. They're watching what buttons get pressed, and when they get pressed for themselves. They're not actually watching you. It's like watching everything it does instead of everything you do. And it would have been real easy. It would have been real easy for me to have you log in, because that's one of the first things you'll notice when you download either the Apple version or the Android version, is these apps, they don't require you to log in. They don't know who you are. They don't care who you are. And it would have been a lot easier to have you log in, and then I could just follow you around. I just could have the app follow you around and record everything that you did, and that would have been a lot easier. But we value your privacy, and so we're not going to gather any kind of information about you. You don't log in, and even when you're in the live chat, you don't even log into that. You just pick whatever screen name that you want and enter. And there's no logging into anything anywhere. So there's just no way this thing can, any one of these apps could follow you around or gather information or share information. They're completely safe. And we respect your privacy, and at the FringeRadioNetwork.com, there's a privacy statement there too. You can read it. And so anyway, but the most important thing about both of these apps is, where do I get them? How do I download them? Well, you just go to FringeRadioNetwork.com. It's right there on the front page. It just says right there. There's your Apple button, and there's your Android button. One is the App Store and one is the Google Play Store, depending on what you've got, what kind of phone you've got. You just go to FringeRadioNetwork.com, and then you just download the app. It's right there. That's the most important thing. How do you get the app? You could go to FringeRadioNetwork.com/app and read a little bit about them, and you could also download them there. But the most easiest way, just go to FringeRadioNetwork.com. They're right there at the top of the page. All you do is just tap on the appropriate badge, in the App Store or Google Play Store, and download it. And why should you download it? Why? Maybe you're already listening to another feed reader. You're listening to the network on another feed reader, what Podbean, whatever. Podbean's, it's a good app, but it doesn't have the live chat. functionality to it. I mean, how are you gonna be in there with the guys? I mean, and yeah, I mean, how are you gonna be there when Captain Epoch is live? And how are you gonna be in the live chat and listening and chatting with the other people in the audience? Or how are you gonna be in there with Michael Basham's Spirit Wars and talking and chatting live with the other people while you listen to him do a live broadcast? I mean, how could you do that in like Podbean or whatever? I mean, you gotta have the Fringe Radio Network app for all that live action. And plus, another reason why you should have the Fringe Radio Network app is the audio quality. It's got the best audio quality. It sounds so good. I mean, me and Slippers, we went way out of our way to give you the best audio quality app that you could like ever listen to. It sounds so clean and so pristine. It just sounds great. And also, as far as the feed goes, a lot of these other like pod chasers, like, you know, like Podbean, you know, whatever. I mean, it's a good program, but I mean, if you listen to the Fringe Radio Network feed, I mean, you're listening to an archived version of it that, I mean, maybe they only did, you know, went and got it like a day ago. And so you're listening to like yesterday's feed, where if you use the Fringe Radio Network apps, then you're guaranteed that it's hooked directly to the live feed, to the main feed, where all the shows appear. And so maybe one of the guys just posted a show like 3 minutes ago. Well, if you're using the Fringe Radio Network app, it's gonna be right there on your feed reader part, and you can listen to it before like almost anybody on their other pod chasers and stuff. So, but anyway, the most important thing is that you know where to get these apps, and that is at fringeradionetwork.com. Right there on the front page. If you got an iPhone, click the App Store button. If you've got an Android, click the Google Play Store button. And we have both versions and same functionality, but totally different experiences. And they're all hand-coded, all original code, and they're safe. And I know, cause I wrote it, didn't we, Slippers? We wrote it ourselves. So we know what's in it, and what's in it is goodness. Goodness when you download the Fringe Radio Network app. There's goodness in this app, in both of them. They're good apps, and they like you, and all they want to do is play you good audio and get you involved in the live broadcasts and chat sessions. So anyway, so I guess that's all I've got. So download the app, fringeradionetwork.com. That's all you gotta do. Just go to the front page. It's right there on the top. Anyway, so say goodbye to the purse. Yeah, I know. Okay, yeah, we've got it. Yeah, you owe Mortimer a birthday cake. Well, you shouldn't have done that. That was mean. You know what they do with mean cats in Detroit, don't you? They eat them. Well, that's what I heard. Anyway, okay, goodbye, everybody.